Hello, this short video is basically for Mr. Kablov showing few modifications I would like to add in the Bull Commander. First modification is regarding the the mark plus command, internal command, is to be able to add the Windows interpretation of the filter, because recently it happened to me that I typed something like that, cab started star, thinking it would select all the file starting with cab no matter what is the extension. And unfortunately, it gave me the impression it didn't select any file, and in fact it didn't select any file. So it gave me the impression that there was no file this way, but in fact there was at the end about 8,000 files like that, cab and a file with no extension, because it looks like the way the filter was made. When we type start.star, like we get used to tap in Windows to select everything, it doesn't select the one with no extension. So that's why I had the option here, Windows interpretation. So this way, if we have a start.star, it will select everything, even the one with no extension. If we would have typed cabstar.star, then it will select the file there. And in my example, I would have seen that there is 6 files selected. So, or what happened to me, 8,000 files selected. Other than that, I also suggest to have the option to have ignore accent and ligature. In French, let's suppose in this folder I want to select all the files that have the word école in it. École, which in French means school. For example, here it will select only one file, okay, the one that is here. But the ones with the accent, like this one, you know, a E with an accent over it, it doesn't select it. So in French, it's really annoying, because especially in Quebec, where everybody works both in English and French, alternate between. Sometimes the word we type it without an accent, sometimes with an accent. So that's why I would add the option ignore accent and ligature. So this way here, see, it select all the one with école, no matter if it's an accent or not. And since I was there, and that's what I mean by the ligature. Ligature means it's when we have 2 letters stick together. For example, the word in French œil, which mean the eye. If I type OE like that, it will select here only this file, but it won't select this one with the OE stick together. This is what is a ligature. And here, for example, here also OE didn't select the file. So with my suggest modification, if we select ignore accent and ligature, then it will select it. So basically, these are things that I would suggest to add. Regarding the case sensitivity, it's not essential, but since I was playing in the mask unit, I thought it would have been a good thing to add it since I was there. Another modification I add is regarding the mask here. See, all the last mask I type have been stored to the top, instead of like it was before to add it at the end. Why I suggest to do that? It's because it's not simply to have it more close when it's time to reuse a filter, but it is also to be able to restore them. Because right now, the Bull Commander, when we close Total Commander and we restart it, it will restore only the last 50 that have been saved, that have been used. So because it add it continuously at the end, I have computers in a few places where I use the Bull Commander. Well, it stops saving any new filter, because each time I restart the session, all the one after 50 are not restored, and I have a station where they have 50, more than 50. So that's why I suggest modification to save, to keep moving on top the extension as they are used, the filter. I suggest to change the icon for the unselect all because unfortunately it was the same as the mark minus, so I had 3 times the minus sign to help to figure it is the unselect all. And last modification I suggest is to be able to add parameters to the mark plus command. If there is no parameters like that one, just cm mark plus, it does the same thing as it did before. Click on that, it prompts the user to enter the filter he wants to use. But I suggest to add parameters, so for example, to have the mask equal something, ignore accent, Windows interpretation. My help file is ready to suggest with what could be added. So again, mask, case sensitive, ignore accent, Windows interpretation. And the most useful thing I see in that, it is regarding the fact to be able to use things like that, like kind of a file type. So suppose I click that button, okay, where I have configured Pascal type, and where the Pascal type file have been defined here to have such extension. If I click there, path, it selects all the Pascal file ready to do something. So, and maybe the last thing I could add is I have observed that regarding the input mask, you have made it to be individually saved, not saved, but I mean remembered for the current session individually, tab per tab, file view per file view. For example, in System 32, here I have my star, and if I go here, I see that I keep the other, and so I did the same for the option. The only thing I did that was not done before is to, when we change something, let's suppose, for example, the way I will work will be like that, ignore accent and Windows interpretation. Each time we change it and click OK, okay, so it means that we have worked with that. If we close the session and then we start a new session, these are remembered. They are not remembered tab per tab, okay, file view per file view, because it was not the case before anyway regarding the input mask, but at least the friendly, I think it's friendly with the user to remember it that way. So that's it. The modification I suggest are ready to be submitted, and before to commit the file, I wanted to ask your advice to see if it was fine. So thank you very much, and I hope to have an answer from you soon.